Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday. Everyone is doing amazing. I hope, I wish, I hope, I hope. I don't know. But welcome. So it's so funny. By this point on a Saturday, I had been up for hours. Our son and daughter are getting very used to waking up once or twice during the night. Our daughter's getting better at it twice a night, and our son now all of a sudden wants to wake up once every night. And 6 a.m. happens to be the time. So they'll wake up a couple of times and 6 a.m. they're up. And at that point, I volunteer because I'm already awake and I will work, but also watch Frozen with them, which, by the way, I've watched Frozen, I don't know how many times. And I think I know every word. I run around the house yelling, "Who wants to build a snowman?" And my son loves it, right? So yeah, it's been a morning. So welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, cool. So a couple of things. Hey, Brian, good morning. Couple of things. So yesterday when we left off, I shared with you that our tech team was having a little bit of difficulty uploading the 822 question and answer prompts that I built for RHINOBUX, which is going to be the bot that's inside of Hub, and it's also going to be the bot that we're going to place places, right? So we want to go ahead and place it on all of our different pages. We want to place it within our emails. We want to place it as a link that somebody will click that they can talk to. The point is, once this bot is active, then we have the complete confidence in the world that it will be able to provide a level of sales that are commensurate with the level of sales that I could provide. Meaning, if somebody is receptive and if they are curious and if they're interested, I believe in myself in the point that I can speak to someone. And of course, I'm super excited because I eat, sleep, and brush my teeth to RHINOBUX, right? And that's not something that can be duplicated among somebody else. Like, I can't find individuals that will ever be as excited as I am, because it's by the very nature that I've spent every second of every day of my whole life getting to where I am now. Nobody else has done that. They've spent every second of their life getting to where they are. A bot, though, hasn't spent every second of anything doing anything other than what I tell it to do, what I code it to do. Meaning, if I'm able to go ahead and duplicate myself and replicate myself in a coding, well, then that bot is essentially me, right? And there are many things that go along with it in the sense that it is real machine learning. I do have different programs set up that I speak to on a day-to-day basis that is built to learn the way I speak, right? Another beautiful day, yeah. So when I go ahead and say a portion of the day, I'll take notes and write blah, blah, blah. I'm writing it purposely into a bot that is designed to go ahead and start learning my personality. So that can then be tied into the bot that's being created to go ahead and share with everyone else. Now, I know this all sounds like a lot, right? Well, the cool thing about that is most of it's done. So the 822 prompts that we built are already done. It's actually, and what I want to share with you, the upload is successful. It's inside the bot. The emulator of the bot is already done. Now it's a matter of building the front in terms of how it interacts with you. Well, not how it interacts, but how it begins interaction, right? So if you go on membership, will it approach you right away like, "Hey, welcome back. Did you do this," right? Does it ask you a question? Does it wait for you to talk to it? We need to figure that part out. And then on the back end, we need to build out via Microsoft's toolkit that when you say yes to the bot, that it's able to go ahead and pull the information, pull your payment details, and facilitate the transaction in real time. That is in the toolkit, but we're not Microsoft experts, right? So we need to find it and apply it. But when we have our entire tech team on it, and their only job is to do this, I imagine they'll get it done. I took my link to RHINOBUX from Karcher and planning to send email regardless. Oh, that's amazing, cool. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, Frida. So the point of all of this is, actually there's a couple of points to it, right? So we went ahead and sent out a couple of emails yesterday to everyone. Hey, listen, you're currently this plan. We'd like to bump you up a little bit, right? And it's simply because I haven't done that in quite a long time. And the feedback I got from the emails is, I actually got it pretty regular, right? A lot of people said the same thing, where it's like, Ant, I'm here. Like I'm totally here, but I kind of want to pause in increasing anything because there's just been so much different messaging, so much different stuff going on lately. And the price, although I do understand market cap, you want to add to that, which is a total good thing, is kind of where it was in December. It's just a lot of volatility in between. And that's just, I don't feel that level of, okay, I'm 100% in control of what's going to happen. Not me, but the person, right? And I realized because I come out and I just speak, that and it's funny because I was talking to someone on the phone yesterday and they were like, Anthony, you're so far in it, that's the only way you know how to talk. You don't know how to talk in normal human language anymore. And it's so true, I don't. Like I could sit here and talk about the bot and bop, 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 and then at the end of the call, it's like, well, okay, so now we're doing a bot, I guess, like what's going on? But each component that I'm listing is all intertwined with the other components. So it's like I'm sitting here talking about one day the steak, and the next day I'm talking about the asparagus, and the next day I'm talking about the potatoes, and the next day I'm talking about the oven, the next day I'm talking about the chef. And it very easily can be seen as, oh my God, like he went from produce to vegetable to now meat, and now he's in France hiring a chef. Like, what is he doing? But the reality is, it's because I spend so much time on each component in such a real way that I want to make sure that each component fits very well. When in reality, it probably would just be easier to come out here and say, hey guys, listen, like the steak dinner is gonna be fantastic. And we got even more accomplished today and the steak it's cooking, right? And I think that is the difficulty of my superpowers and lack thereof. I don't have the superpower to be able to message properly. In fact, when our largest investor, right? Every time I speak to him, he goes, in one sentence, are we doing good or not? So then I'll go on for like 45 minutes and he's like, Ant, I let you go on because you're so passionate. Like this is you. He goes, but I don't actually understand anything that you're saying. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I get it. So I'm going to do better in kind of weaving that together. And I think I'll probably do it in the email format sometime this weekend or sometime next week, just to kind of put the components together. Because everything that we talk about is correlated with every other thing, right? So when we talk about the sales force, which by the way, Laura, she's like, may the sales force be with you. And I died. It was so funny in the email today. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But the Salesforce thing, it's like, okay, you were doing Salesforce, like what happened to that? Nothing happened to it, it's done. Right now, in RHINOHUB, it's a completed Salesforce program. You can go into it. Oh, thank you, Karen. You can go into it and sign up for it, receive an email immediately that gives you the whole curriculum, the whole itinerary. We went ahead and chopped up every single video and pieced together just the portions of me taking the test. V had nightmares every night because she went through every single video, watched and heard me speak and wrote down every single question and answer. I went through every single quiz, every single video, even tried to remember my own quiz questions when I took the exam and made 600 flashcards that we even made the software and put it in there for you. And I'm willing to stand behind that. If you just study the flashcards for an entire week, you'll pass the certification. We have the links to joining the Trailhead, which is the curriculum portion of Salesforce. We have the links to actually applying for different positions. We have the links to all the job boards for it. We have the links for the registration. It's all done. Meaning, hey, Brian. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Meaning that we can now say very clearly, and it's done, if anyone would, yeah, never. We can clearly go up to anybody in the world, right? Anybody that's sitting there and complaining about their job or saying AI or saying career or saying whatever they want to say, that they're complaining about something. And we could say to them, well, in 2 weeks, we could actually get you certified and you could immediately start applying for positions that are willing to pay you $100,000 plus a year to work from home. And the person who's spending so much time complaining is going to say, oh my God, really? How? Like, I'll do that right now. And we could. RHINOHUB.co, go to it, done. And we don't ever need to be there, right? Like, I don't need to be presenting anymore. It's already done. we can offer that to anybody and it's done. In which case, when they go ahead and get certified, we even have an opt-in form that says, congratulations, what's your first name, what's your last name, what's your email? Tell us, if you are certified, submit this right here. And when they submit it, they get an email from us that has a very specific book a call link directly to me. So if that individual actually went through the curriculum, actually got certified, and is looking for a job, we at Rhino are going to hire them come summer of this year because we're building out our own agency, meaning that's done. So the Salesforcing, it's like, were we doing it? Yeah, we completed it. Remember when we were doing the store, like the different products, I was showing you the different designs? Yeah, it's done. Like, I don't need to talk about the store anymore. It's done. It's in RHINOHUB. So when somebody goes there and God forbid they actually like anything, they could, oh, you know what? I do want to buy that. I do want to buy that. It's already there. And it's already marked up to go ahead and make sure that we make profit on it. That's done. When it comes to RHINOBUX, RHINOBUX has been a wild success when it comes to the people that are already part of Rhino. The people that are already part of Rhino stay part of RHINOBUX. But what we have noticed is the average plan has been coming down. Now, with that average plan, it's not as low as it appears, right? So it's like 1370, 1330, somewhere over there. But there have been those that had the $500 plan that when we were doing the raise for the marketing spend, those individuals said to us, well, one of them especially was like, hey, Ant, I'm looking to get to this much in RHINOBUX, which means I have another 6 or 7 or 8 weeks of the $500 plan. If you want, you can go ahead and take that out one time right now, but then move me down to the dollar plan. Meaning, and this was more than one person, so we went ahead and pulled forward a lot of that money. So if you were asking me for a like super fair assessment, if I never did any of that and never spoke to anybody, where we would be, probably at like 17, but we're at 13 because we pulled that forward. Also, that number includes all of the $1 and $5 memberships that we have. So we have 4 different Rhino email memberships that are $1 a week, and we have 16 different Rhino Wealth memberships that are $5 a week. So when you combine that, that's altogether like an average of $4 a week over 20 people. Well, that pulls that number down as well. So we've always said that number is going to continue to move lower because we have $1 and $5 offers all over the place. Now, Rhino Wealth is done. Rhino Email is done. Like, these things are done. I don't need to do anything more for them. Rhino Wealth, I send out an email like when I take a look at the stock market, but they're done. The prompt engineering, we love that, but we haven't spent any time doing it because we have other stuff to do. But you could go ahead and get into that program right now at $1 a week, I think it is, and it's done right there. It's done. So a lot of this stuff, it's like, hey, you talk about this, you talk about this, you talk about this, and I get it, but these things are done. Now, getting back to RHINOBUX, which is the stake, I guess, Karen, to go back to that analogy. It's been wildly successful amongst people that are in Rhino. And the reason why is because once you're in Rhino and you've had this much time to spend together with me, we've all understood, okay, I know you, you know me, we're a happy family, right? Like, there's nobody that says whether good or bad about me. Like, you could say he talks too much or he's not funny or whatever the case may be. But no one ever in the history of Rhino ever said, I just can't trust him. Like, he said this once and then this happened, and there's this, that doesn't exist. It does not exist. So those knowing at least that much say, okay, well, I don't mind getting into RHINOBUX because Anthony's saying this. I don't really know what the hell he's saying, but I believe him and I know that I'm not going to get hurt. Well, the point is, when you have that, you can then take that step forward. When you believe that the worst case scenario is off the table, and on top of that, that somebody's accountable to you every single day and is telling you, okay, I plan on doing this, 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 and you could trust them. Let's, at the very least, it's a fun investment to be in, right? Like, you could, it's almost like the price of admission. It's almost like we're like a movie. And you're like, okay, well, I paid $7.95 for my ticket, and I just aged myself. Nowhere is $7.95 a ticket. Well, I just paid $7.95 for my ticket, and now I'm watching the show. All right, if I lose $7.95, no big deal. I was entertained. And actually, a lot of people said that about Trump when he was running for president in 2016. I don't like him, but he's entertaining, so I guess I'll get him my vote, right? It's the same thing with Howard Stern in the 90s. People that hated him listened to him for 2 hours a day. People that liked him listened to him for an hour and a half a day. When people asked the people that hated him, why'd you listen to him so much? I have to know what he says next. The point being, there is a certain level of entertainment value that I know that we have together, all of which are variables that do not translate to a newcomer. None of this means anything to someone that doesn't know us. In fact, to someone that doesn't know us, if we're leading with our best attributes, which are I'm liked and I'm honest and I'm entertaining or blah, 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 or any mix of it, how can they ever actually believe that? How can they ever find out for themselves unless they go ahead and dedicate the time to see if that's true? Which means the time dedicated is weeks or months, and that doesn't make a good offer. So what we needed to do was take a step back and say, how can we go ahead and build a level of trust? How can we go ahead and add value? How can we do the things that we are good at while also while having the ability to welcome somebody into the fold where they can for their own self-interest, they're here because they're learning something about Salesforce or whatever, but while they're here, they get to go ahead and learn who we are. And that was RHINOHUB, right? That's why we built it. That's why the Salesforce thing is there. Because to say to anybody, hey, listen, I don't even want to hear your complaints about whatever job you have. You can be making over 100, or you could be applying for over $100,000 a year work from home jobs right now if you go ahead and go to RHINOHUB. In which case, it's almost a challenge. The person's like, seriously? Okay, fine, I'll do it, and I'll prove you wrong. And while they're trying to prove you wrong, they prove you right. Well, that individual that's in RHINOHUB is going to say, okay, well, I'm comfortable here, right? And especially when we start hiring these people. Imagine when we get to the point that we're an agency that has 100 people that we hired, that we built ourselves. How about when we go ahead and have and solidify the partnership with Salesforce, where we're actually able to recommend the different programs? You got to remember, when we have a Salesforce certification curriculum. We're hiring people to work and do services on behalf of Salesforce to clients of Salesforce. It behooves us to go ahead and make money on every single purchase of Salesforce, because the obvious takeaway is every single person in that universe is going to have to purchase Salesforce. Meaning, we can go ahead and provide a free service, not only a free service, we're going to pay people to do a service and go ahead and get paid to do it accordingly, right? So these are all good things, and these are the things that are happening right now. But then it comes down to, okay, well, Ant, this all sounds great, but like, when's it gonna happen? Like, when are we gonna start seeing these like thousands of new members and all of this? Like, like someone even said to me, Ant, you've cited RHINOBUX is gonna go up to 3 to 10 to this, that. How do I even believe the new number you have, right? And I said to them, I go, well, when speaking about projections, the projections are based on the path that we've identified to be good. When we identify a path to be good, we believe it to be good, and the projections are based on the assumption that that path is good. Like we never go down a path with the assumption that it's the wrong path, right? So for instance, when you meet someone and you have that like month of like puppy love where everything is great, and your parents say, oh my God, do you see a future with this person? What do you tell them? Yeah, everything is great. They're going to, they're applying to get this job at wherever, and we're going to move in together next year, and maybe within 2 years we'll get married. I hope I get that ring. And then what happens a month later? You realize that the guy picks his nose and eats his boogers, right? And then your mother goes, well, didn't you say like this, this was going to happen? Well, of course I said it was going to happen. I was saying it based on the knowledge I had at the moment and the path that I thought we were on. New information changes things, right? So the takeaway is, well, Anthony, maybe don't offer projections so much until you're like super duper sure, which noted, got it, good, right? But to get back to the point of like, when does all this super duper stuff happen? So I believe by the end of next week, the bot will actually be completely done. Then it's a matter of like, where do we put it? Like, it's definitely going to go on Hub. We're going to start crafting emails that allow people to be introduced to the bot, like put them in a situation where they could speak to it. Maybe we'll have some pageantry around it, like contests, like I bet you can't fool the bot, or I bet you can't get it to stop trying to sell you. I don't know, right? Is there affiliate opportunity with that? Do we have the ability that affiliates can now go ahead and participate in the bot? Can they go ahead? Can we make an affiliate page where they can go ahead and email it out, and whoever they email it to now comes into contact with the bot, where we make a heading of the page, one of the best opportunities you'll ever be a part of. Ask the bot and they'll tell you why, right? Because if the bot is coded to be a salesman, well, then we just want it to talk to as many people as possible, right? So is that a possibility? Can we have an influencer program that is designed to go ahead and move people to that, right? So I'm actually going to be recording a video today that we're going to be sending out to the influencers, because again, that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. I've been, acquiring all these emails. In fact, I was doing it right before this. We're at exactly 400. Each one of these individuals, I don't know what the program's going to look like. It's not like they're going to stop their workout business and then start posting things about crypto, right? Like, that's not a thing. But I bet you they have emails. I bet you that they have a back end where they have correspondence with people. I bet you there's a whole number of possibilities. Like, I don't know it. But what's cool about RHINOBUX is it's a real currency. Like, it's been trading for 6 months. There is real confidence in its support and its behavior. The automations and everything. Remember when we used to talk about automations every day? Remember for like 8 months we were talking? They're done. Like, we have them, right? So all of these things together, to go back to the analogy of putting a meal together, they are confusing, but they're all meant for one outcome. That when we bring that dish to the person, they are wildly overwhelmed with the asparagus and the steak and the potatoes and the service, and they're just like, I want more of this. I want, like, this is finally the way I should be treated, right? Remember Rhino Street? And whatever happened to Rhino Street? It's still there. In fact, we're still working on the Whisper program right now for it. Like, you could put your search, like, there's so, and again, with these influencers and all these other people, we own a search engine. Like, we own a search engine. We own the world's only localized search engine with no data tracking, no marketing, no nothing. And everyone's like, well, and it's not populated. It's not really that cool. Do you think, let me ask you something. Say, for instance, a bunch of influencers got together and they put their brains together and said, hey, listen, how can we dominate the world, right? Like, okay, what is something that everyone uses that is actually missing something that like could be a competition? Oh, a search engine. What could be the oh, well, there's no localized one. Okay. Is this like a really good moral project? Like, can we ethically offer this? Can we go ahead and say that we're defending people and we're defending local community? Can we pitch this? Yeah, we could. Okay. Do we need it to make money? We're influenced. Like, we make our own money. No, we don't. We don't need to do no ads, no marketing. Okay, great. Okay. Well, how do we make money on it? Well, you could be the items listed, right? Like, so for instance, could it be set up in such a way that the people that go ahead and, like, the influencers or whoever can what's the word? Can bring the search engine into the zeitgeist of community, could actually bring it to the fold, and they could go ahead and make their listing searchable, I don't know, 100-mile radius, right? Like, is there an opportunity for negotiation? Hey, listen, no one's able to be searched more than 20 miles, but we'll go ahead and let you be searched for 100 miles because you're doing so much to bring people in, which means that person is now able to be searched and have a leg up on corporations, right? Like, so how does a Salesforce translate into RHINO? Is there an online business site? So Salesforce are a couple things. Rhino Street, all the emails are on our Salesforce, right? Like, we have a plan with them. Also, the Salesforce is the way to get people into RHINOHUB, because we're offering the curriculum and all the rest of it, which allows people to go ahead and either learn a position or to acquire a new job, right? To make a career change. So that's really the only, like, they don't actually equal each other. It's just kind of like a front end to bring somebody in. So anyway, with and I hate saying influencer, it just sounds silly, I don't know. But the point is, there's so many different opportunities. Like, if Google came to you and said, hey, listen, we're Google, we own Google. Like, do you want to make a deal? Well, duh. Like, if you own an entire search engine, and that's why we built it, it's such a value. Like, we own the world's only localized search engine, and it has maps on it that aren't Google. It has the coding, the latitudes, the longitudes, the partnership with OpenAI. Like, it just has so much. Okay, anyway, and again, I know that the takeaway from this live is like, okay, you just spoke about a bunch of stuff, but it's not like I can't put a date on it, and I get that, and I'm working on it. But I do want to actually show you. So yesterday, I was on our team call, and I record all of them, obviously. And there was a 30-second where we were able to actually test the emulator. So it's in its own, so it's in the back office of Microsoft, but we were able to test it in terms of the bot. And then we only did it twice. So I want to kind of show you what that looks like. And it's nothing super duper like, oh my God, amazing. But if you can take a look at this and realize this is just the testing, that this is going to be multiplied by infinity and then brought all over the place, that's cool. So let me see, hold on. So share screen, what do I have? Okay, so here's the video. You minimize this floating menu. Okay.
Just like a test bot.
So if you write something in there, it'll give you an answer. Whoa. So I don't know if you saw that. It's the bottom right-hand side.
Get it in there.
Do an answer. So new to crypto. RHINOBUX is a subscription-based crypto program that simplifies investing. Whoa. To learn, start with just $1 and you'll gain hands-on experience. So the person wrote help. It's okay to seek help when making important decisions. Cool. With RHINOBUX, you're never alone, blah, 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 blah. So these are just the two examples. And these were just like off the cuff, like, all right, I'm new to crypto. Help. And you got answers that directly were direct to your objection or to the words that you said. We were able to we're able to address your concern, offer you a benefit of RHINOBUX, and then close you. Do you want to participate, right? And I don't think that last sentence is here, but obviously we're going to throw that on, in which case we'll have a button, yes or no, in which case the individual will be able to click yes or no. If they click no, we'll continue. If they click yes, the bot says, okay, great, done, check your email. Because we have the ability that we have all the payment information, we can facilitate it, done. So things are moving. How does a Salesforce certificate translate into bucks? Every time we apply for get a job, we give it to the server. Oh, so the Salesforce certification translates into bucks in a very simple way. So, and then I'll go with this because I know I've been on for like 28 minutes and I can just hear Travis somewhere saying this has gone on too long. So when we go ahead and create the agency is because we believe that once people get certified, they might not still have that yearning desire to go ahead and be an entrepreneur as well, right? Like you don't go ahead and get certified and then say, well, since I'm certified, now I know how to open a business and I have a sales team and I could go ahead and get clients. There is a disconnect there. But since we can do that, what I would like to do is go ahead and apply to all those positions myself. And then on behalf of Rhino, and then we can go ahead and get the contracts like, hey, you know, Mr. Jones is offering us 20 hours a week to do this. This person's offering us 10 hours a week to do this. Okay, great. Now we go ahead and take those hours and distribute it to the employees, right? To the partners that we hired that are certified. So we're going to go ahead and guarantee the work. So people are hiring Rhino and they can trust Rhino. And then we are going to go ahead and hand the hours to the individuals that we hire. Meaning, if the individual is able to handle the hours themselves, great. If the individual needs help, great. We'll partner people up. All along, and during that whole process, we're going to bill it out at say like $120 an hour, $130 an hour. But we're going to pay $100 an hour, which means that $20 or $30 margin is going to go directly to RHINOBUX, meaning the larger the agency goes, the more hours that are involved. We can do a number of things. We can hire people, we can offer good paying jobs, we can offer support, we can grow the company larger, we can continue building, but all the while, each part of that growth equals a margin of that $20 or $30 an hour that continues to go into RHINOBUX, meaning the larger the Salesforce platform becomes, the agency, the more support goes into RHINOBUX. And like everything else, the goal always has been just to buy all the RHINOBUX that's available so that it explodes, meaning I don't want to say I don't care, right? Like, because that's rude, but I don't, maybe, right? I don't care how it happens. Like, I will work a million hours a day inventing a million different things, never take a paycheck, and make sure all the money goes to RHINOBUX. Because when it blows up, that's the day, right? So I'm at the 30-minute mark. This has gone wildly too long. So I love y'all. I'm going to do better. I always try to do better, but at least I'm vocalizing it, right? That's like the first step. You have to admit you need help. I need to do better. Let's see if the email today gets any new rhinos. That was a very, spent a couple of days on it. There's a new page, so it's very short and succinct, and this is what it is. And we'll do another one tomorrow and another one the next day, and we'll keep going. So love everyone. Things are moving, and I will see you later. Bye.